this presentation is mainly for dentists specializing in implants, but it could be applicable really to anybody. And the title of the presentation is Stop Chasing Tactics.
Yeah, I love that.
Stop chasing tactics. And then why understanding psychology beats every implant marketing trick. So psychology, understanding psychology, that driving your strategy. And then the tactics may matter, but you can find anybody to push buttons.
Yeah, tactics only go so far.
Right.
You can know something, but owning it is a totally different thing.
Yeah, and there's a billion marketing companies out there, and you can find reputable companies to push the buttons. It's hard to find someone who really understands psychology and great marketing and can translate that to also great ads. So that's what we're going to dive into today. And I love this quote from Jay Abraham. He says, going from tactical to strategic is the biggest single performing enhancement long-term shift that you can make.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah. It's the biggest enhancement. So before we dive into strategy, I do want to give people tactics because everybody loves tactics, you know? And so these are really the top three. And I honestly think if someone just implemented this, that they could potentially be busy enough to not even have to dig into strategy more or less or do marketing. But if they want to grow beyond that, obviously they're going to have to do that. But how many calls are you missing? Do you track them daily? Tracking daily calls. And I'm going to go through what each of these could do for your practice. Number 2, how many patients have you presented treatment to that haven't moved forward? This is big in dentistry. That you get a treatment plan. Hey, you should fix this, or like cosmetically, we notice these things. So here's what that looks like. And tons of people, most people don't move forward.
Yeah.
So how many treatment plans have you presented? Patients haven't moved forward. And when's the last time you sent a reactivation campaign to that list? So we're going to talk about how that could be the $500,000 list, right?
Yeah.
And then number 3, how is your scheduling team incentivized for shown appointments?
Right.
Not
just getting them on the schedule to actually showing up.
Right. Yeah, because that's the goal, right? For a scheduling team, if they can get people to show and you believe in your clinical skills and the team, then from there, it should be easy. On average, okay, this is in regards to the first tactic, which is tracking missed phone calls. Dental practices miss anywhere from 30 to 38% of incoming calls.
Whoa.
Nearly 2 in 5 go unanswered.
Wow.
Almost 80% of missed calls are potential bookings, with 65% of those being totally new patients.
Man. It's just like leaving money on the porch.
Yeah, just, literally throwing it in the trash can. So what's at stake? Every 10 missed new patient calls may equal, for a dentist, $8,500.
Wow.
And that's just assuming that they really don't even have super high ticket services. You know, if you're a dentist doing implants or full arch or same day crowns, and, this is a totally different story.
Yeah. This is
full
just
restoration. Yeah. So even on the low end, that's $102,000 a year.
Wow.
That would be $714,000 over 7 years.
That's life-changing if you manage it right.
Yeah, but if you go to full arch, this is easy $500,000 a year.
Wow.
One practice tracked missed calls, and they booked 244 additional appointments, adding over $204,000 in revenue. Again, this is a dentist, not an orthodontist.
Yeah.
If it's an orthodontist, the production would be way higher.
Yeah.
So now let's go to number 2, the reactivation campaigns. obviously, this is like a 12 to 18 month window. You could go longer, but that's kind of the sweet spot. And typical success is anywhere from 10 to 20%. Okay, so that's kind of the benchmark that you're looking for, because a lot of people are not going to respond to this, but some will. So a large practice, and this is all pulling from GPT searching the internet. So all of this is like factual information from studies, blogs, articles. A large practice pulled in $100,000 from one ROI-focused campaign. Another clinic generated 53 new appointments from a cosmetic-focused outreach. With a 10% conversion rate on a 1,000 patient inactive list, it's not unusual to see tens of thousands of dollars in additional revenue.
Because you've already done the work to get them into your practice. You've presented this case to them.
They're just sitting in your software.
Yeah.
Literally.
And you just got to reach out the olive branch to them.
Yeah.
That's huge and so easy.
Yeah. And what if you had a system that did it every 60 days?
Yeah.
Every 30 days, just a little nudge. Yeah, hey, we were thinking about you, wanted to check in on the treatment plan that we sent. Let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to see you. You could even categorize that if you got really strategic. So by service, if it was crowns, if it was full arch, if it was some type of restorative category, you could like categorize all of that and have different workflow and automation that spoke to that type of treatment.
I don't think that would be, yes, it's an extra step, but it would actually make the person receiving it feel like, oh, this isn't just a blanket email. It's like, oh, you're speaking to me. This is, you took the time to talk to me.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I mean, if you wanted to really get strategic, like in our software practice beacon, based on the offer, problem, treatment, like those could all be custom values, and it could literally be specific to the person.
Yeah, that would, like, if I received that myself, I would be way more apt than, hey, this is blah, blah, blah dental, like just basic, because we get inundated all the time with emails and text.
Then if we look at shown appointments, okay, so this is the third tactic, shown appointments, and this is before incentives, is 25%, so 1 in 4.
Whoa.
No show. Shown appointments, it's about 75% of all appointments show. Monthly collections before incentives, this is a case study from the internet, $90,000. Monthly bonus payout, 0. Annual revenue impact, obviously that's just baseline because there is no impact because we're before incentives. After incentives, no-show rate goes to 8%. So it goes from 25% to 8%, so less than 1 in 10. Shown appointments goes from 75% to 92%. Monthly collections goes from 90K to 110K, so we added 20K. Monthly bonus payouts, 3K. So we netted $17,000, okay? Annual revenue impact, anywhere from 150K to 200K.
That is insane. Like, you not incentivizing your staff is just like, yeah, I don't want that extra 17K.
A month.
Yeah.
So what if you could pay yourself $200,000 more a year?
I would say sign me up. That's better than the S&P.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, this is on like a baseline bread and butter dentistry practice. If we start to layer in these higher procedures, and if you can cross-sell, right, like this becomes a way bigger number.
Having the tactical awareness, and we're talking tactics here, and it's like, this doesn't take much, and people want to be incentivized. They want to work more for you because you're showing, hey, I care about you. And that's going to make them come in, answer more, send reminders, all of that to make people actually want to come in, and then you're reaping the benefits. Your practice is reaping those benefits.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the data doesn't lie, right? And so if you're not tracking any of this, you are potentially performing at about a 30 to 40% capacity of what you could be just by these three tactics.
And the efficiencies, I know the doctors that we work with, they love efficiencies. Mm-hmm. This is an efficiency and an effectiveness, like both of those combined. And just those three things are going to transform what you can do. But I'm very curious about the psychology that you're about to jump into.
Because this was just the tactics. So now let's discuss strategy, right? Let's get into the strategy. What is the key to effective marketing? That's the question for all of this. And if we want to understand the key to effective marketing, we have to understand psychology, like what we talked about.
Yeah.
And I just want to read the definition of psychology. This is straight from Google, which I think pulls from Webster's dictionary. The scientific study of the human mind and its function, especially those affecting behavior in a given context. The mental characteristics or attitude of a person or group. Number 3 is the mental and emotional factors governing a situation or activity. So I think the 3 words here is behavior, attitude, and emotion. And when we talk about psychology in terms of marketing, I like to look at consumer behavior.
Yeah.
Because that is the psychology of the buyer. And so that's going to tell us everything we need to know. And unfortunately, I see so many people not empathizing or not understanding their consumer.
Yeah, we get into this like mindset of, well, I want them to act this way.
Yeah.
And
I want this type of patient.
And it's like those patients don't exist.
Yeah. Or if they do, it's in tiny numbers.
Yeah, maybe 1% of the population acts like that. But think about how you behave when you're buying.
Yeah. This is a funny story. So we interviewed Dr. Kyle Fagala a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how he didn't really like discounting treatment. But then when he goes to buy stuff, he likes discounts.
Yeah.
And he likes to get a deal and likes the offer. Well, there's a really big orthodontic conference coming up. I think it's in October in Vegas, and all of the ads for it are $200 off. And so it's like all of these people are signing up on ads that they say, I don't want to run that for me, but look at how you buy.
Yeah.
Not only you, because some people may not buy that way, but if we, again, go back to consumer behavior, most consumers do.
Yeah.
And in that podcast, I reference a book, and in that book, there's tons of studies, but the one example is JCPenney and how they went from discounts to just the lowest price, and how that tanked sales because people didn't care about the lowest price. They didn't associate that with a deal. They associated the dollar off, the promo, the savings with the deal, which was much more of a psychological driver, creating urgency, getting them to go buy and act now. And so even if your premium fees, Mercedes does this, I don't care how high your price is. Like if you're an orthodontist and you want to charge $8,500 for a full fee, of treatment, that's fine. But $1,000 off is going to move the needle much more than, no discount, no promo at all. And you can still be high fee, you know?
You think about anytime there's a holiday, Memorial Day, 4th of July, all of these brands
they mark their price up.
Yeah, they mark it up, and then it's 4th of July sale, come to blah, 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 and get blah, blah, blah.
Which I'm not saying to do. Ethically, I think that's shady.
Yeah.
But yes, that is what they do.
Yeah, and it's like, it works. It clearly works because they keep doing it.
Yeah. So consumer behavior is the study of how individuals, groups, organizations select, buy, use, and dispose of goods, services, ideas, or experiences to satisfy their needs and wants.
Needs and wants.
Yeah. Desire. Let's just dive into what I think is, in terms of strategy, the most powerful ad platform in existence, and it's Meta. And I wanted to put this in here and part of the psychology because so many people say bad leads. You know, when I talk to dentists, especially dentists doing like implants and full arch, it's like, yeah, we've tried this stuff on Facebook and Instagram and it's just bad leads and we don't get callbacks and, you know, people say wrong number, people don't pick up the phone, and it is not a problem with Meta. It's a problem with your process, your systems, and your strategy. So let's just look at Meta and how powerful it is. People face, just in terms of advertising, people face thousands of brand messages every day. And this has been a problem since really mass media started to come into effect in more so the early 1900s. You know, New York and Times Square and the radio and TV. It's like they just started getting bombarded. And then with the internet and now with social media, it's like, it's insane. So people's attention spans are shorter than ever before. You have banner blindness, you have ad fatigue. It sets in so quick. Nothing stands out. Like, what's the last ad you saw or headline that stood out to you?
It was an editing thing. It was something that I cared about.
Right.
And it was like, stop sucking.
Really? That's what it said?
It was literally just stop sucking.
What was like the tagline below that, the headline?
It was, I'm trying to remember.
Did it have like an image with it? Like, how'd you know it was for editors?
Because it had a timeline.
Oh, a timeline.
On there. Yeah. And it was like, okay, what is... I never want to suck at editing, so it was literally speaking to me. And it was like, it was some sort of pack or whatever. They were selling like templates or something like that. And it was just like, well, I don't want to suck. So it automatically told me, you're in the right place. You don't want to suck, so buy this thing.
So recently I was running a background check on somebody, and there's all these sites now you can do on the internet. And it was like Truth Seeker or something. And they sent me an email to run more background checks because it's usage.
Yeah.
And the headline was, do you even know your neighbors?
Oh.
And like it imprinted in my brain.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you know, I have kids. So it's like negative emotion and fear is 10 times, if not way more, 100 times more powerful than pleasure. You know,
think about the news.
Think about the news. It's all fear. I think we're getting blown up every time I watch it.
Yeah.
But compare getting your leg snapped in half to wanting to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't want to get my leg snapped in half.
Like, you're going to act immediately. You're going to be screaming, call 911, surgery, the whole nine.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
As fast as possible. Hawaii's like, yeah, like I want to go. I really do. And could I go right now? Yeah, I could plan the trip and go, but like, I'll do it later. You know, I don't really care. Yeah, it's not a must. So you have to be really careful about this because you can turn people off. And negative emotion should always have some type of hope.
Yeah. The pendulum needs to swing between positive and negative.
Right.
Yeah, there might be this thing, but there's a way out.
There's a way out, yeah. So personalization is no longer a bonus. It's the expectation. So you just said that personalized ad, right? It wasn't some generic thing, generic funnels and vague offers. They just fall flat. And this is why you just keep scrolling and clicking past so much stuff. Consumers respond to messaging that feels like it's speaking directly to them.
Yep.
Consumers trust faces more than logos. They want a real story. They want to hear from real people. They want to hear user-generated content or testimonials or reviews. All of that helps in advertising and helps you stand out above the noise. Consumers research across many platforms before taking action. So if they see your ad on Facebook, they may go to Google and look you up. And most consumers will never respond on the first contact.
Yeah.
They may visit your site, see a retargeting ad, browse reviews, then wait a week before booking. Now, all of this is tracked, okay? So here's the thing. Facebook and Instagram they track all this. So if a consumer sees an ad, they click on your Instagram, or they even slow scroll, or their thumb or finger may position over the call to action, like that's tracked all the way down to them then going and doing other things and then coming back and converting.
Yeah.
So it knows everything you do and how you interact with something, even if you don't convert on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you convert on it a week later, a year later, it knows all of that, and it categorizes you in specific ways, which we'll talk about more.
Well, I just had this happen to me.
Okay.
I have been wanting a new belt. My belt was,
a belt of all things.
A black belt. It was disintegrating at this point. And I saw this belt on Instagram. It's called Groove Life. And I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And it was like this interesting hook mechanic, whatever. And you don't have to put in the hole and all this, and it doesn't destroy the belt. I was like, this is very interesting. It's like, set it and forget it. And I looked at it and I scrolled and I was like, oh, well, they're doing a sale. And then I was like, I don't want to get it right now. 3 months later, I kept seeing it. And I got it yesterday in the mail.
All right, so let's talk about this. Did you have conversations about belts?
I did. I literally had a conversation with my wife. She's like, when are you going to get a new belt?
Okay.
And then Dr. Kyle brought up buying a new black belt, and it hit my head again. And I was like, I need to get that belt.
So then did you go do any type of Google search?
I literally looked up like that brand was in my mind.
Right.
And
but go back to the first time you saw the ad.
Uh-huh.
What happened before that? Was there any type of activity?
No.
Did you like maybe a photo?
I think they showed up in my feed, and I was like, okay, that's a pretty cool belt.
And maybe you slow scrolled over it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it knew that. So yeah, it can serve a lot of stuff, and then based on when you slow scroll or spend time on it, even a couple seconds, it knew you were interested.
Oh, yeah.
Then it might have even picked up on conversations. Like, they say phones don't drive that, but they do, because I'll mention something and literally see the ad the moment I open. So it's like they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Here's the next one. Emotional connection drives decision. Consumers respond to stories. We talked about this. Identity alignment, aspirational messaging, and they use logic to justify the decision afterward.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you have that impulse buy, and then it's like maybe that belt costs 2 or 3 times more than a normal belt at Walmart, but you're like, yeah, but it's got the clasp and like it doesn't disintegrate and like
90-year warranty.
See? Logic.
Yeah.
The bottom line is the 2025 consumer is skeptical, impatient, emotionally driven, and overwhelmed. If your marketing isn't immediate, human and helpful, it's invisible.
Yeah. Human and helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole reason I bought a belt was because my pants falling down. I want my pants on the ground.
Right. And this is on screen, the Time Study magazine article. You now have a shorter attention span than goldfish.
It's sad, but it's true.
It's true, right? All right. So we talked about consumer behavior, and I kind of pre-framed we're going to talk about Meta and everything it knows. What does Meta know about me? We talked a little bit about this, but there's 7 things I want to dive deep on. 1's engagement and attention signals. 2 is content interaction mapping. 3 is purchasing signals. 4 is offline behavior sync. 5 is social behavior insights. 6 is behavior targeting. And 7 is ad performance. So if we dive into engagement and attention signals, we talked about this scroll speed. If you slow down on a post, that's a signal of interest, even if you don't click or like it. Dwell time, how long you spend looking at a story, reel, or post. Zoom ins, replays, and tap. So if you zoom in on content, if you replay it, if you tap, photos, videos, stories, hovers, if your thumb pauses over a CTA, they record that hesitation. They are called passive signals, and they're often more predictive than likes or comments because you spend more time looking at other stuff than liking and commenting. Meta creates a web of how you interact with different types of content. And this goes back to, I think, content interaction mapping, okay? Which creators or brands you repeatedly view, even without following. What topics you explore, wellness, fitness, investing, fashion, editing. Whether you engage with controversial or emotional or educational content. So are you watching Alex Jones all the time and QAnon? I think QAnon's pretty over, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. How often you share content and to whom? Are you sharing publicly? Are you sharing privately in Messenger, DMs on Instagram? They use this to build a behavioral content graph, which helps shapes your feed and your ads.
I feel like they know you better than
anyone.
You do. Yeah.
Purchasing signals. They know what kind of buyer you are, so they know you're a slow buyer. Click-through patterns on ads. Do you explore or bounce? Time spent on landing pages via in-app browsers. Purchases made outside of Meta's ecosystem via the Facebook Pixel or UTM codes, APIs, however it passes data back. Cart activity, so like abandoned cart, completed, viewed. It segments users as window shoppers, click and research types. These are their avatars, impulse buyers, and repeat converters.
Oh.
And uses that to predict and optimize what you'll likely buy next.
Wow. And then it just serves it up. Just
here you go. Offline behavior. So if you call a business from Facebook or Instagram, the ad, bookings, so Calendly, ZocDoc, high level, buy in store using a phone number. So based on like Shopify may pass back that info to Facebook and boom, you're in store. Doesn't matter. It's still tracking you. This is how Google My Business, to switch to Google, one of the Google My Business and like ad intent that you see when you're running Google ads is store visits. How do they know you made a store visit? Well, they track that you walked in the store.
Yeah.
Like it's your phone's geo connecting to the ad platform. But back to Meta. Meta can match that action back to an ad campaign even if the user never clicked anything.
Because you've hovered.
You hovered. Your thumb was over the CTA. You were salivating over that necklace or ring, and then you went in the jewelry store and bought it. Same type of thing. If we go back to a dentist, you slow scrolled on the ad or video, and then you look them up, called them organically, you thought, on a Google business profile, and then you go in, like it knows all of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Social behavior insights. Meta learns who influences you, whose stories you respond to, whose comments you like or debate. So maybe you don't even like people. And I saw this all the time when we posted that video of Dr. Dino. Mm-hmm. It knew who to serve the content to, who was just hating him, but it's like the platform doesn't care if you like or hate content. All it cares about is engagement and interaction and
keeping you there.
Purchasing. Whose content you DM or reshare. Group participation, topics, engagement style, leadership behavior. This forms a social influence graph, which is used in ad delivery to show you content validated by your circle. So here's the thing. If you're interacting with friends who are buying certain things, those things are going to be served to you.
Yeah, I can see that because like
turtle box, everybody's who fishes or hunts is buying a turtle box.
Yeah. The green egg.
The green egg. Oh my goodness.
Blackstone grills.
What was the fire pit? Those.
Like the smokeless ones.
And tons of smoke.
Yeah.
Like me and a guy were just talking about these. Like it was not awesome, but you thought it was going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because everybody was buying one. And sure enough, Facebook ads got me on that one. Behavior targeting. Meta advertisers no longer rely on basic traits like age or location they can target. Behavior targeting is very weak. Frequent engagers with skincare brands who save posts and clicks, CTAs, moms who interact with maybe some type of education, but they haven't followed a brand yet. Men who slow scroll and zoom in on luxury watches but never buy. So Meta calls this interest and intent modeling. It uses AI to create real-time targeting profiles that constantly evolve. So it's more about what you're engaging with and less about like your age and location. Because think about it, you know, the typical demographic maybe for implants is working class, lower income, because like more affluent communities take care of their teeth for the most part. You know, but still, what if someone like Justin, who basically had a condition where his teeth were weaker and wore down, he got a full mouth restoration. He didn't fit necessarily, you know, it wasn't like age or location that got him. It was content that he was engaging with and maybe looking into restoration and crowns versus full arch. And so like it knew what he was interacting with to deliver the right ad, right?
Yeah, just the basic demographic stuff is only going to get you so far. There's a lot of assumptions.
A lot of assumptions.
Kind of ad.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about what to do with all this information. Because again, it can't just be generic offers and generic targeting. Ad performance. Each time you interact with an ad, click, save, comment, ignore. Meta scores the creative's relevance to you, reassesses your buyer profile, refines what types of messaging, visuals, tones, and even offers structures you respond to. So it will dynamically change things. That feedback loop powers Meta's real-time ad auctions, allowing high-performing ads to beat better-funded competitors just by being more relevant. So you can spend less, be more strategic, and get more sales.
Man, and having to figure out this all on your own.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Again, if you think you can just get ads running, you will always say bad leads.
Yep.
So Tom Walker, who is brilliant with advertising and psychology, he has a book series about this. He says true marketing mastery isn't about vanity metrics, but uncovering psychological and behavioral signals that separate strategic thinkers from tactical button pushers. Incredible. Why most marketers fail? Well, we just talked about it, but most marketers fail because they're speaking the wrong language. They craft campaigns aimed at the rational brain, flooding their audience with specs, stats, and features. They assume their audience will weigh the options, see the value, and make the logical choice, but that's not how the brain works. It's emotion.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about logic versus emotion. Logic explains, emotion sells.
Yeah, it's like why would you marry the person that you married? It wasn't logic, it was emotional.
Right. And then you use logic to back it up.
Yeah.
Like she's going to be great with the kids and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she's a great cook or, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, it was an emotional feeling that drove the decision making. Logic versus emotion. You think, and this is for a dentist, feature our technology, X-ray, CT scanner, dental monitoring, new appliance. Tell them how great we are. That's when can't we just, you know, we won this award
We're
and
the
like
best.
we're the best. Credentials and awards. The services we offer. Let's put on there that we're multi-specialty. Okay. Not necessarily a bad thing if this information is secondary, but what's the emotional hook? The patient thinks on the emotion side, will I feel comfortable? Is the pain going to be worth the outcome? Can I trust you after being burned by another dentist? Is this going to be worth the money?
Is it
That's
easy
what
to get
they're
to?
thinking. Is it easy to get to? Am I going to have to sit in traffic?
Yeah.
All of these things. Am I going to be able to get an appointment this week or 2 months from now? All right. So how to write a good advertisement. Here's the 6 steps. Salt the cut. Intensify the pain of the problem is salting the cut. So that's number 1. Salt the cut. Intensify the pain of the problem. Number 2, show how you can help. Number 3, prove the solution. Apply the advantage. Number 4, take away risk. Number 5, penalty for not responding. And number 6, the close. Victor Schwab wrote a book, How to Write a Great Advertisement, and the 5 steps are almost identical to these that I just gave, which is attention, advantage, proof, persuasion, and action. Funny enough, that's how the Bible was written. You know, the Bible starts with salting the cut pretty much, you know, Adam and Eve, sin, damnation, right?
Yeah. But then here's the solution.
Yep. Solution. It proves it. Well, you know, walks you through like testimonials. There's third-party validation by all the different people writing the Bible, and also the prophecies, you know, and then there's the call to action.
Yeah.
This is what Victor Schwab says. An advertisement cannot stimulate sales if it is not read. It cannot be read if it is not seen, and it will not be seen unless it can get attention.
Wow. The first step is attention. You got to get them in.
And I hate to bring this up, but this is how Donald Trump won the 2016 election, is his social media strategy. There's a documentary on this of the firm in Boston that he hired, in the data they used from Facebook. And Facebook had to end up changing a lot of their algorithm and how this works. But the headlines, the videos, and it was all driven on negative emotion. You know, like if the other side wins, we're all going to be dead and America's going to be over, you know, say goodbye to the American dream. So pulling it all the way back for dentists and implants, let's look at these ads, and I'll show you these too so you can see. Remember when you could eat anything?
Oh,
right? The guy with the steak. Because like if you don't have teeth, you can't chew steak. And then it's highlighting this value, and start your journey back to normal eating. I just want to eat like normal food.
Yeah, like when I was younger.
You know, complimentary consultation that is literally giving away the value of over $1,000. It's kind of highlight. And if I could show you the whole copy, because it's long form, it follows those advertisement steps. 3 dentists, 3 stories. Sound familiar?
Oh, yeah. Scrolling through Reddit. Oh, I went to this and they said this, and then another one.
You've been researching this.
Yeah, I've been researching. It's like it's a common thing.
Yeah. Multiple opinions. They're all different. Who do I choose? Who can I trust? You're right. Schedule your educational consultation. Now, this goes through Dr. Garg, and he's like world renowned, Dr. Arun Garg, who we're working with. And it talks about how you're not going to get the runaround. You're going to get a definitive treatment plan. You're going to get the best treatment plan, and he's going to make it affordable.
Man, hitting all of those things, just like it.
Yeah,
it takes the emotional and the logical.
Yep. 5 minutes. That's all you got. The rushed consultation. You know, how many times have you gone to the doctor, you waited for an hour, they brought you back, you know, somebody talked to you for a little bit, but then when the doctor comes in, it's all rushed, 5 minutes, and he's out the door.
Yeah, it feels like I'm not getting the care that I need.
So this is no hurry and a no pressure guarantee.
Ooh, that's nice.
Right? Again, it's hitting on the emotion, and I want to go all the way back to some of the things that we were looking at, and logic versus emotion, and why most marketers fail. And, you know, if you can't get attention, then you're not going to be getting people to interact with the ad. And this isn't something to like exploit. This is, if you believe that you have the best solution, that you provide extreme value, that you can help people and change their lives, you should have a moral obligation and a conviction to have the best advertising that speaks to the consumer, that gets their attention, that cuts through all the BS to get them to take action.
Yeah, because you want to help them. That's the bottom line. You want to help them.
So you got to master this stuff. And the thing is we've mastered it for you, you know? And that's what I love is like, let these dentists do what they do brilliantly, because I can't do it, and I can't go coach them on implantology.
Yeah.
You know, but let us do what we do brilliantly, and don't coach us or try and like change it and like, I don't want that type of emotion, or that's too like of
Salesy.
a provocative headline, or it's like we got to do what works and what cuts through the noise, and we have to get people to take action.
Doctors are so intelligent. They've went to school for a very long time, and they're good at fixing teeth, helping people with their smiles. They're not trained with ads. What is going to get the attention? And it's like, you could go full in. It's like, I'm going to learn how to do this. But it's like, is that actually helping your practice?
Right.
You know, you're not just getting an underling to tell what to do, but you getting somebody that knows how to run
Can
ads.
advise, yeah, this is how we're going to hit your goals.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just imagine we're getting all the leads. Like, we've got the best ads. We're getting leads. Like, this is great. Performance is good. Where do people suck? Getting people scheduled, getting them to show up, and then selling the case.
The 3 tactics that we talked about at the beginning.
Right. How much time do you have before a lead goes cold? We talked about goldfish. That was kind of pre-framing this.
Yeah.
And that's 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So look at this graph, 0 to 5 seconds, 30%.
Wow. It needs to be instantaneous.
You have a 30% chance. And all the way down to a minute, it goes down to 12% in terms of qualifying. And I think largely this is because no one picks up the first phone call. People have do not disturb on settings. And so they're not going to answer the first call, but look at the chances if you boom, there's immediate, and maybe it's immediate text. Yeah. Now with AI, there can be conversational text. There's so many things with technology that can help drive this to have immediate communication and personalized.
If I clicked on like a dental practice and said, I'm interested, and as soon as that happened, my phone lit up, I would be shocked because that's not the norm.
Right. Exactly. Lead conversions are 391% higher if you call within a minute. The Harvard Business Review shows the difference between 5 minutes and 10 minutes, which is a 400% decrease. Then it shows what we were just talking about, continual communication, follow-up. It is increased by 70% if you follow up at least 6 times. Then get this, 92% of all customer interactions happen over the phone.
Wow.
Okay, so actually getting someone on a call, that's where they're going to get over the finish line. You may be able to warm them up and get a lot of information via text, but even to get them to show, we train everybody, make that call, have that conversation so you can build rapport, and it goes such a long way with the shown appointment. The odds of contacting a lead if called in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes drops 100 times. The odds of qualifying a lead if called in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes drops 21 times. Now here's the hybrid follow-up process. Immediately call, leave a voicemail, send a text. Hey, Zach, that was me who just called. This is Luke at Hip Dental, blah, blah, blah. 2 hours later, call, leave a voicemail, send a text. Hey, Zach, it's Luke again. When's a good time to connect? 24 hours later, so next day, call, leave a voicemail, send a text. Hey, Zach, I just wanted to make sure you're still interested in coming in for that free implant consultation. Now, I'd probably send emails with all of this too, but that's more or less the hybrid follow-up process. Now, the great thing is we do all this in practice speaking, right? And it's all tracked, so we can see revenue. I was talking to Dr. Garg today and able to show appointments scheduled, who's scheduled for treatment, and then we already had someone start treatment with a full arch.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it's like in 3 weeks, $22K already closed. So
that's amazing.
Really cool. And here's the key. The key is let us do the scheduling. We have this incredible scheduling team, and just this year, we have shown appointments 3,696 shown appointments. And this is like basically just came out of beta. Like we piloted this and, we didn't really sell it. We didn't talk about it a lot. And so there's very limited practices on this, maybe 50 And collectively now we have over 500. And so it's not a lot of practices that make up this total. And the beauty of this is our team is trained on digital leads, how they behave, consumer behavior, the contact rate, the messaging, the scripting, the energy, the emotion. Our team does all of that. So instead of placing more stress on your team, more work on your team, getting them more frustrated, having them say these are bad leads, let our team turn your bad leads into your raving fans, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Instead of having to do all that training, have somebody that's already been trained and ready to go. It's just like a flip of the switch.
Yep. That's it. So that's basically the information that I wanted to present today. And again, the 3 tactics are gold, but if you find a partner to help you with this strategy, there's really not many out there. And I think with AI, 99% of marketers are going to be gone over the next 2 to 3 years. But the 1% is going to be strategic over tactical.